Hi, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be an update video on a video that I made years ago, which I recently renamed to Puppy Blues and Post Puppy Depression. Um, since that video, I have learned quite a bit on what puppy blues and post puppy depression are. And this is really important to know what they are because a lot of people don't and they struggle to understand why they feel a certain way once they get a dog. It doesn't have to just be a puppy, just any dog. So I want to go through what they are, and anyone who's been through that will now understand really like where those feelings are coming from. I'm not a doctor. This is just what I have learned now through the past couple years since I've been through this. So basically, puppy blues and post puppy depression happen after you get a dog. I've never experienced it with another animal. I have 2 cats right now. I've had guinea pigs. I've had, other animals in the past. And the only time that this happened was when I got a dog. So puppy blues, kind of like baby blues, would be where you feel sad after getting it, but it doesn't feel like your life is ending. It doesn't feel like you want to do any harm. It just is like you're feeling not yourself. And then post puppy depression is like postpartum depression, where it can be really severe. Once you have a baby, or in this case, once you get a dog, you feel like you don't love it anymore. You don't want it there in your life. You do anything to get rid of it, which is a really sad circumstance. But just something switches in your mind. It feels kind of like fight or flight. Like you just need to like fix the situation right away. And in this case, it means like you don't feel like you can have the baby, or you don't feel like you can have the dog. And this is what happened to me about like 4 or 5 years ago. And it was so debilitating that I ended up giving the puppy away, and then everything got better after that. So I realized that in the last video from years ago, I never explained really how the post-puppy depression like came about, because it doesn't technically happen right away. So the first time I ever got a puppy, the first like 2 days were really good, and I really don't remember the exact time frame because a lot of this is like blocked out of my mind. But basically, like the first 2 days were just me trying to, take care of a puppy. I remember him like peeing in his bed at night, and like having accidents sometimes, and I remember waking up really early and taking him out, and it was hard, but I didn't have any certain feelings about it. And I think like 2 days in or 3 days in, I noticed that he had fleas. So these would have probably come from where I got him from. So that's a good thing to check, is when you get the dog, before you take it home, check for fleas. Because I had made an appointment at PetSmart. I was young. That was like the only place I could think of like they could give him a bath. And once I started driving there, I remember he was sitting in the seat with me. It was a little puppy, and he started crying. And just all of a sudden, I started having a panic attack. So in this case, all of a sudden, I just had like a rush over me. All of a sudden, I looked at him as if he was like a thing and not a puppy. Like all of a sudden, I just didn't love him anymore. And in my mind, we're racing all of the like options. Like, I can't keep him. What do I do? Like, just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, So that crying is like what triggered it for me. So for you, there might be something that triggers that depression or panic attack. But for me, it didn't end. So I continued my trip to PetSmart, was sobbing, dropped him off, and like they cleaned him. But after that, like it was not good. In my last video from years ago, I explained that I couldn't sleep. I didn't explain that I couldn't be by myself. So when my husband would leave for work, we lived at his parents' house, and I would have to go sleep with his mom because I had such bad anxiety that I was just shaking all the time. So it was super, super debilitating and really, really scary for me. I think I was probably only like 19, which now I'm realizing that was young to try and get a dog, especially when you're living in a room at someone's house, and it wasn't my family. So just like not the best circumstances, honestly. And it sucks that it happened because now I feel like I'm pretty traumatized by that situation. So I would consider that post-puppy depression where it just didn't stop. But unfortunately, I gave the puppy away instead of trying to work through it. But if you've ever had that feeling, you think the only option would be to go to the hospital, and because you feel like you're dying. So I'd say I kind of took the like easy way out, and it's unfortunate because I wish now that I would have tried to get through it. So now I'd say that that traumatized me because I tried to get a dog like a year later, an adult dog, and just the first night I had a panic attack. I think because I was anticipating it so much, and then I gave her back the next day. And then I tried it again like a year later. Same thing happened. The first day I just panicked. And it's really unfortunate because I wanted this so bad. So the same with someone who wants a baby, you know, you like dream about having a baby your whole life, and then you really can't control what happens after you have them. Same with a puppy. You can't control what your brain is going to do. You can't control how you're going to feel. So that's basically my story, and I've looked up post-puppy depression a little bit, and the only place that I've found any information is on Reddit, where people have shared their stories. And I've seen some stories of people who this lasted about a month for them, and they like pushed through it. So honestly, I think what you can do if you're having this is to keep trying. And now, right now, we're in the pandemic of the coronavirus. So I think going to therapy is a little bit difficult right now. But I would definitely suggest that also to be able to talk through it with people. But advice that I would give to myself in the past would be don't get a dog when you don't have like the best circumstances. So every time I tried, I lived in like one bedroom, and there was nowhere for the dog to go. So I think it just felt super isolating for me. And like one thing I've learned from this and that people have told me is that I'm probably an empath, which means I take on people or animals' emotions like they're my own. So basically, if I was in one room with the new animal and they were stressed, or I thought they were, I would take that on myself, and it was just super overwhelming. So in the future, if I try to get a dog again, I'm going to try to think of it more as like we can be separated if we need to. Now I live in my own house. And it just, you need to make sure that you have a situation that's going to be set up for success. But also, I do know some people are, and they still get this. And it's nothing against you. It's just something with our brains that, you know, maybe we take on too much emotion and it's overwhelming for us. So if you're watching this, I just would love if you would comment like your story underneath, because I love hearing like good stories of people getting through the panic attacks and anxiety. Let me know if you needed to like get on medication to help you deal with it. Let me know if you've had to give away a puppy because of this sort of puppy blues, post-puppy depression, because I'd love to hear. And I think that this would be a good place for other people to come and read the comments if they ever need some hope to get through this. Especially right now during the pandemic when people want a dog because it'd be awesome to have a companion. And you just don't know what will happen once you get it. So being here and being able to give people, hope that they can get through it would be nice. So if you can leave a comment, if you've ever had this happen to you, please do. And I hope in the future that we could all get the dog that we love and be able to live out the dreams that we have. I hope that we could all do that. So thank you for coming to this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.